So this happened yesterday afternoon, but Le'Veon Bell has been released by the New York Jets. Now, a lot of media outlets are running with this narrative of the reason why Bell was released from the New York Jets was because he was liking certain tweets that were aimed against upper management, the organization of the Jets, and that's why they came to this crossroad of releasing Mr. Bell. But truth be told, ever since the word go, ever since the ink dried on the contract, when the New York Jets signed Le'Veon Bell, uh, no one was happy with this signing. Coaching staff was not happy with the signing, and it only took them less than a year to figure out that they had their priorities backwards. Okay, when they signed Bell, they didn't even establish a quarterback. Okay, they went into the draft, drafted a quarterback, and 2 years and change later, they're not even happy with the choice they made with quarterback. Now they're gonna go into when this season is all said and done, they're gonna get the top one of the top three picks, and a lot of people are, in on the realization that they're going to sign a quarterback this up and coming NFL draft. Okay, so not only they struck out on the quarterback that they drafted a couple of seasons ago, but they already struck out on Le'Veon Bell. No one was happy with this signing. The signing made absolutely no sense. Okay. And you knew this was going to happen. Now, last year they was trying to shop Bell in a trade offering to get something back in return for Le'Veon Bell, what they gave up for him. All right. And no, there was no takers. No one was interested in Bell. Okay. Now, his production was average, but his production, when you look at it at the grand scheme of things, it did not give them a lot of W's with his production. Plus, he's off the field kind of against the grain of the New York Jets organization, but the New York Jets sabotaged their own reputation off the field by just even the signing of Bell, particularly in the era of football that we're accustomed to today. You don't have to have 1,000 yard. You don't have to draft for 1,000 yard running back. You don't have to go into free agency and get a running back off of free agency and pay him the most money. And Le'Veon Bell as well as Antonio Brown, I want to say this. They're the two players with diva attitudes, but they play in positions that really definitely doesn't make your team as far as production or getting more wins. All right. If you don't have a quarterback, okay, if you don't have an offensive line, your success as far as winning is dismal at best. All right. So he's now a free agent. Teams later on today will be able to sign Le'Veon Bell for whatever amount of money they're going to sign him for. There might be a team desperate enough that's in the playoff hunt that needs a running back with his production that can take them, that he can add to the system. Okay, but any other team, they may kick the tires around, and any other team will probably give him, some. They might, throw a few coins at Le'Veon Bell, but if by that time you're really just signing him for his name, his brand recognition, which that's what the Jets did a couple of seasons ago, signing Le'Veon Bell because of his branding, his name. Okay. They're trying to win games on the frontline news as far as publicity goes by signing him. All right. And ever since the ink dried on that contract, the last tender of coaches didn't understand why did ownership reach that conclusion, particularly in the era that we're in with the NFL. You really don't need a 1,000-yard back, just someone there that can get a yard, keep the defense honest. But you don't need a top flight running back or put all your money, put all your eggs in a basket for a running back when you don't even have an established quarterback. Okay, when you're trying to figure out how you're going to get W's in this current climate of the NFL. And the New York Jets were sinking in quicksand, trying to figure a way out. All right, and everyone knew that this was going to happen. All right, last year, they was trying to shop him around. There were no takers. All right, it's not. It's just the era that we're in. Quarterbacks, and quarterbacks have always been important in every era. All right. But in this era, you really don't need to draft so high to get a running back. You really don't have to, spend all your money on free agency on a running back. Okay. And the Pittsburgh Steelers knew that. That's why they had no problem of letting go Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown. Okay, they got pieces for those two players, by the way. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, even though they lost some prominence, they lost some edge to them. But at the same time, they're always day in, day out winning. Now, last year, it was a struggle. And it was more so to the fact of Ben Roethlisberger going down. And they were still quite productive last year, all right? It was addition. It was addition with subtraction. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they moved on. They seemed like by letting them two guys go, really the organization didn't suffer by letting those two go. If you look at Antonio Brown, he signed that big contract with the Raiders. Then there was a disagreement between him and management. They let him go. All right. He signed a contract that gave him some of the money back that he lost with the Raiders. With the Patriots, all he had to do was just keep his nose clean. He couldn't even make it through 1 week. Robert Kraft released him too, and now he's he's just out there. He's on a suspension. I think his suspension is over with. And now if a team signs Antonio Brown, it's going to be for desperation. All right. So he almost had an opportunity to be signed by the New Orleans Saints, but he screwed that up. All right. So Le'Veon Bell, I'm pretty sure somebody's going to pick him up, but if he really wants to be the primary running back, he will have to pretty much wait and see if other teams, other prime running backs are down for a couple of weeks or down for the season, and he can probably make some of his money back and he'll be a starting running back. But at this late in the game, if a team signs him, it's not going to be a desperation move, and it's not going to be his best move financially, okay? Teams have already established their roster, so he's going to have to wait. There may be some takers, but I don't know if they're takers as far as, going to the playoffs or even into the Super Bowl. I know for a fact the Kansas City Chiefs are probably not going to sign him. And the New England Patriots, that could be a possibility. Okay, how Bill Belichick, he might could get some use out of Bell, letting him be a running back, and particularly in the winter months. That's a move that the Patriots would make on the second half of the season. If he's still available, that's a move the Patriots will make in the second half when it gets colder, okay? So, yeah, I can see the Patriots kicking the tires as of right now and, probably talking to him and saying, look, we'll sign you on the second half of the season. Just, stay healthy, stay in shape, and we'll sign you then. But to me personally, I just don't see a whole lot of takers for Le'Veon Bell. Okay, I keep butchering his name. You know, Le'Veon Bell, it doesn't flow off the tongue quite nicely. Okay, so I'm up out of here, deuces.